Sheriff of San Mateo County uses DI buzzwords to combat allegations of corruption and favoritism as she tries to push back on removal by the county board of supervisors. We're going to get into that story. But first, if you're part of the 87% of people who have not yet subscribed, please make sure you do. It helps spread the news about this channel and it helps with the algorithm and all that stuff. Now, before we get into this first story, I do want to set this up as the first video we're going to watch is sort of how it was before and how it's going. So let's get into that first story.
She's making history. Christina Corpus was sworn in as the new sheriff of San Mateo County today. She becomes the first Latina to hold the office, but she's not new to law enforcement. For more than 20 years, she worked her way up and has plans to change the way the department works. Here's NBC Bay Area's Christy Smith.
So, congratulations.
Christina Corpus officially became the 26th sheriff of San Mateo County today, sworn in during a ceremony at the College of San Mateo.
My path as sheriff started long before my 22 years in law enforcement.
And she's breaking new ground.
The first female and the first Latina in county history.
I want you to remember that she makes a big point of that because that's going to come up again later in this video where we discuss this.
Law enforcement, elected leaders, and community members were there to watch the new sheriff make history and share her plans for the department.
Safety is and always will be my driving mission. To keep our community safe, we must learn the challenges and concerns of each community, as neighborhoods are different and unique.
She talked about making the sheriff's office more accessible, fostering trust and transparency while strengthening
Trust and transparency. Again, keep that in mind as we go through this video.
public safety.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to working and being engaged in the community and bringing 21st century policing really to the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office and bringing a change of culture where we take care of people first.
Oh, she really did bring a change of culture to the San Mateo Sheriff's County office, and that was when she was sworn in back in 2021. Now let's jump ahead to today and see how the Sheriff of San Mateo County is doing.
In her own words, today San Mateo County Sheriff Christina Corpus testified in her own defense. Now this is day 2 of a hearing that will likely determine whether she keeps her job. NBC Bears Marianne Favre joins us live in Redwood City with details about what happened when the embattled sheriff took the stand, Marianne.
Well, the sheriff testified for more than 6 hours in court here today. She answered questions on everything from why she decided to reassign several deputies who happened to oppose her, and also personal questions about her relationships. Sheriff Christina Corpus walked out of court after hours of answering questions from San Mateo County attorneys and her own legal team.
Sheriff, do you have any comment about your testimony today?
On the witness stand, she testified despite claims to the contrary. She has never had a romantic relationship with her former chief of staff, Victor Iyenjay, who she hired.
That's an important name. We're going to talk about him and Christina Corpus more in a little bit, but keep in mind that name. So he's sort of at the center of all of this.
She also said she did not receive $8,000 earrings from him, another allegation uncovered during an independent investigation into her actions. Corpus told the court she bought them for herself and paid in cash.
Certainly when she made the comment that she bought $8,000 earrings in cash, that's somewhat suspicious to say that.
Somewhat suspicious? Well, I mean, we're going to look at her pay, and she is making good money, but $8,000 in cash laying around to buy earrings seems like a convenient excuse to say it's not trackable and we don't have receipts for it. So, although you get receipts for things you buy in cash, so I don't understand this whole if you buy it in cash, there's no way of tracking it.
She's trying to hide the fact that they were a gift from someone else.
Corpus is also accused of retaliating against several employees by reassigning deputies who opposed or stood up to her. She says she did it based on the needs of the department.
She had an explanation for why she did these transfers, and some of them were promotions. And she also came off very genuine about, hey, these people work for the sheriff's department. They need to be able to go to other locations.
The sheriff's own defense team also questioned her about what they called the consistent backlash she faced from staff as she tried to improve the department. Noted crime in the county is down. Here's what's next. Once the 10-day hearing concludes, the judge will have 45 days to issue an advisory opinion. That opinion will then go to the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors, who will have 30 days to decide whether or not the sheriff keeps her job. Reporting live in Redwood City, Marianne Favreau, NBC Bay Area News.
So currently the 10-day hearing is over. Now we're in this 45-day window where the judge has to make a determination of whether he advises the County Board of Supervisors to remove Sheriff Corpus and whether or not there were these allegations that prove she should be removed. So that's sort of the window that we're in. So I guess it can come any day now, whether or not she's going to be removed. Whenever it comes to issues of sort of this favoritism and insider dealing, I always like to go first and check, because these are public servants. And I think it's important we know how much we pay our public servants to act improperly. So this is the pay of Sheriff Christina Corpus. As you can see, her total pay. So there's the pay that she gets, and then the total pay at the end, which includes her benefits, and her pay is $638,000. $384,000 is her actual pay, plus the $253,000. You can find this with Transparent California. They're a great organization. They literally have all of the information for anybody who works in the government. You can go look it up. And as for this alleged Victor, I'm going to keep calling him Victor because his last name is way too confusing for me to even pronounce. So this is what he was making as the sheriff's executive director of administration, and it's unclassified, which is interesting to me because I've never seen this in any of these records before where it says unclassified, meaning that there isn't really even a position for this. It's just sort of made up, and they don't really have a classification for this position, which kind of lends to the credibility of she made up this position literally just for Victor, that sort of allegation that this was just created for his benefit. Now, I want to show, if you look at 2023, that his total pay was $107,000 in 2023, and then it got bumped up in 2024 to $293,000. So that is a huge jump in total pay year over year. I mean, I wish I got that sort of raise from $107,000 to almost $293,000. That is almost a 100% increase in pay. So that's pretty impressive for him to get just in 1 year. He must have been doing one heck of a job. I do want to back up a little bit and kind of provide more context of what happened in this whole story. So ABC 7 News came out with a whole timeline regarding the San Mateo County Sheriff and this investigation. So back in 2021, when she was running, and then in 2021 of September, there were hints of relationship between Christina and Victor. According to independent reports, several former and current sworn and civilian employees described incidents that point to Corpus and Victor having a personal relationship as far back as September 2021, including a civilian employee who saw a text message on Corpus' phone from Victor that read, quote, "Baby, I love you. I miss you so much," end quote. A civilian employee who saw Corpus and Victor sitting together on a couch in Corpus' office, giving each other peck on the lips. A civilian employee was on a Zoom call and could see Victor and Corpus were at his ranch house on the San Mateo coastside, feeding each other in an intimate fashion, touching and rubbing each other, and playing footsie. So this was all the way back in 2021. Seems like they were pretty cozy all the way back then. These are eyewitness accounts under the independent investigator report. Now we go forward to 2022. There was a trip to Hawaii. A former sworn employee told the independent investigator that he and his wife were flying from SFO to Maui when they saw Sheriff Corpus as they were boarding the flight. "That's our new sheriff," the former employee said to his wife. The employee told the investigator that Corpus saw him and immediately turned away. He then saw Victor boarding the plane as well with Corpus' son. He told the investigator that he made eye contact with Victor, who said nothing, then walked fast towards the gate along with Corpus. And then this is what Corpus responded back to him. He said, "I don't appreciate you spreading rumors about me." And the employee said, "I didn't spread a rumor. I saw you at the airport. That's not a rumor. We were in a big hurry," she said. "I didn't see you. I went there to have the sheriff to be on vacation. I watched the kids." It was Victor who said, "We were on a big hurry. I didn't see you." Keep going. Somebody confronted the sheriff over rumors that they traveled together to Hawaii. "Hey, did you go to Hawaii with Victor on vacation?" is quoted as saying in the independent report, to which Corpus responded, "Yes, I did. We are good friends. Victor is good with my son. He went to help with my kids. If this were Bolanos, the previous sheriff who Corpus defeated, no one would care. It's the good old boys spreading rumors about me because I'm Latina. So there you go. There's that first defense of, well, you're saying this all because I'm a female and I'm a Latina. So therefore, this is the only reason you're saying this and coming up with these ideas or these salacious ideas that me and Victor are having some sort of improper relationship where I show favoritism to him is only because I'm Latina. And that's the only reason you're going after me. It has nothing to do with the fact that I was caught going to Hawaii or anything like that, going with Victor. It's just because I'm a Latina. The independent investigator stated that the civilian employee who helped buy the earrings for Corpus from Victor told Corpus, "You can't hire your lover. It will ruin everything that we work toward. He'll ruin you." The civilian employee told investigators she responded by saying, "I disagree. Keep the two separate. You can't bring your lover on." And then Corpus said, "He deserves it. He worked so hard for my campaign." And then Corpus responded that I have to. Notice she didn't deny the fact that when she said, "You can't bring your lover on," she didn't say, "He's not my lover. That's a salacious rumor." She just said, "I have to," whatever that means about what is going on between the two of them. But the fact that she just went, "I have to," shows you that she's not really denying it. Goes on 2023. According to the independent report, Victor signed a one-year contract where he would get paid $192,000 to translate the sheriff's vision into concrete policies and initiatives. And then, as we can see, later in 2023, his annual salary was listed as $246,000 plus benefits. Less than a month after he accepted the position, Sheriff Corpus requested the highest possible pay for Victor. So less than a month after he accepted, she wanted him to get the highest pay possible in the department. 1 month in, she requested that he get paid the highest pay possible. That must have been one hell of a job that he did for her to, in 1 month, get a raise of the highest pay possible, or at least a request for the highest pay possible. Corpus would ask for 3 additional raises for Victor before he finished his first year of service. Before he even finished his first year of service, she asked for several raises for this Victor guy. Again, must be doing one heck of a job if he's getting that many pay raises in 1 year. Assistant Sheriff Ryan Monahan was fired by Sheriff Corpus. In a statement released by the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Ray Mueller called the move possible retaliation as Sheriff Monahan participated in the judge's independent investigation of the Sheriff's Office. Corpus released a statement in response calling Mueller's words pure speculation and, quote, "When the people of San Mateo County elected me as sheriff, they entrusted me to make decisions about who I include in my executive staff. The coach picks the team, period," end of quote. And then finally, I want to go off of this. Up until now, quote, "I've stayed silent about the retaliation, abuse of power, discrimination, and bullying tactics I've been facing as a part of a border pattern I'm assuming that's broader, not border, I can no longer ignore." And oh, look who's right next to her. Victor's right there. Among the issues addressed were allegations of toxic behavior. Quote, "He made an inappropriate and offensive request. I needed to inform who I dated within the county and when. A request I found demeaning and discriminatory. As a woman of color who has endured sexual harassment in this country, I was shocked and appalled by his actions and conduct." Again, hiding behind this idea of she's the first Latina to be sheriff, so that's why everybody's coming after her. Not the fact that there is allegations of people seeing the two of them being very cozy, the two of them being sort of intimate together, the two of them going on trips to Hawaii together, which sort of seems improper if you're just kind of workplace kind of colleagues or something like that. It seems like they are a little bit too close. And then you have this allegation of all of a sudden he is getting these huge pay raises. Then there's the $8,000 earrings, which was part of it. And then she is now facing these court hearings by the judge to determine whether or not she should be removed. So this all comes down to one thing that I think is very important for Californians when you go to vote. Californians need to stop voting for people based on immutable characteristics, meaning we should not be voting for people based on the fact that they are one gender or another, that they are one race or another, they are one sexual orientation or another. We need to vote for people based on who is the best for that job. And that is the basic qualification for voting for somebody. And now all of this information is coming out for this historic sheriff that there was so much pomp and circumstance for 4 years ago when she was first sworn in. Remember, she was a historic sheriff, and now all this information is coming out, and she's trying to hide behind the fact that you're only doing this to me. You're only calling out this stuff and asking these questions about my relationship with this Victor guy because I'm a Latina and because I'm female and because I'm a minority. The reason she's using this is because I guess it's the best defense she can use with all these allegations and all of this evidence and all these sworn testimonies by former employees and people who were fired by her, deputies who were fired by her, people who left the sheriff's department, all of that. So I guess when she decided she was going to change the culture, she's certainly changed the culture in the San Mateo Sheriff's Department. As for transparency, it doesn't look like she really followed through with that promise about transparency. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that it is a time for Californians to vote based on whether or not you are qualified? Do you think that it looks like there was impropriety between this Victor and Sheriff Corpus? Do you think there was a secret relationship? And also, let me know whether you think that the judge should request that she be removed from office and there should be a new election to elect a new sheriff of San Mateo County. Let me know all that in the comments, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, review, and we will see you on the next one. Later.